Welcome to First Africa Voice. Today, we take you to Guinea-Bissau. West Africa woke up to another political earthquake, another coup, another president fleeing, another nation thrown into uncertainty. But this time, the world was watching closely because when ECOWAS, West Africa's most powerful political and military bloc, stormed Guinea-Bissau for an emergency mediation mission, they left with no breakthrough. And that failure is raising a dangerous question. Is ECOWAS losing its influence, or is Guinea-Bissau entering a new, unpredictable chapter? Today, we unpack the dramatic event behind the latest coup, the tense meetings behind closed doors, and why the delegation, led by Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada returned home empty-handed. Stay tuned. This is a story the world needs to hear. Delving deeper, it started last Wednesday. Gunshots shattered the air in Bissau, and within hours, the military had seized control. President Umaro Sissoco Embaló detained, powerless, and eventually fleeing to Brazzaville. For the people of Guinea-Bissau, it felt like history repeating itself again and again and again. Since 1974, the country has endured more coups than successful transitions. This latest takeover came at a critical moment, just as the nation awaited results from 8 November 23 presidential election. The military said they acted to save the country, claiming rising instability, political tension, and threat to national security. But critics say this was simply another power struggle, a familiar script in one of Africa's most coup-prone nations. Sources say the meeting was tense from the moment it began. The junta repeated their justification. We intervened to restore stability. They insisted Guinea-Bissau was heading towards chaos, that the election was compromised, and that the presidency had lost control. In their view, the coup was not an attack on democracy, but a rescue mission. The military installed former Army Chief General Intaha as traditional leader. A new cabinet was sworn in within days, with many being allies of the ousted president, and that raised eyebrows. If this was a rescue mission, why was the junta empowering the very political class they accused of destabilizing the country? Still, ECOWAS pushed for one thing: return President Sissoco Embaló to power now, but the junta refused. Their spokesperson, Foreign Minister João Bernardo Vieira, made it clear the solution is continued collaboration with ECOWAS. A one-year transition timeline is in place, but final decision will come from the ECOWAS Heads of State Summit on December 14. Translation: they are not in a hurry, and they are not handing back power anytime soon. After hours of negotiation, handshakes, and official statements, the reality was clear. No agreement, no concessions, no commitment to restore President Embaló. The delegation departed Bissau with a promise to continue talks later this month. But many observers saw what happened for what it truly was: a diplomatic defeat. A sign that ECOWAS, once feared for its zero-tolerance stance for coups, is now struggling to enforce order in a region where military takeovers are becoming the norm. The United Nations quickly entered the picture. Secretary General Antonio Guterres condemned the coup and demanded the unconstitutional release of all detained political actors. He insisted the will of the people, expressed through the November elections, must be respected. But with the military firmly in control and with a transitional government already running state affairs, UN statements alone may not be enough to shift the situation. To understand why this crisis feels so familiar, you have to look back. Since independence from Portugal in 1974, Guinea-Bissau has seen assassinations, military mutinies, frequent coups, fragile coalitions, corruption allegations, deep mistrust between political elites and security forces. Every time the country tries to move forward, another instability pulls it back. ECOWAS hoped this time will be different, but history once again is repeating itself. As ECOWAS prepares for its December 14 summit, one question hangs over West Africa. Will Guinea-Bissau be forced back into constitutional order, or this coup already cemented? For now, the junta is in charge. The president is in exile, and ECOWAS, after a dramatic intervention, returns home with empty hands. The situation remains tense, uncertain and dangerous because in Guinea-Bissau, history never stays in the past. If you find this deep dive helpful, support this channel by hitting the like button. It helps the video reach more people. And if you want clear, bold and unbiased breakdowns of Africa's biggest political stories, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. There is more happening in West Africa right now than most people realize, and we will be here to unpack it all. Thank you for watching First Africa Voice. Stay informed, stay aware, and we will see you in the next episode. Until we meet again, my name is Paul Lingual.
Profundamente comprometido com os valores de segurança nacional,
deeply committed to the values of national security, civil peace, the defense of the country's territorial integrity, and the independence of Guinea-Bissau, the High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order is reacting to the discovery of an ongoing plan to destabilize our country.
Reage à descoberta de plano em curso de desestabilização do nosso país para a operacionalização da qual se montou esquema.
To carry out this plan, an operational scheme had been put in place by certain national politicians with the participation of well-known national and foreign drug barons, as well as an attempt to manipulate electoral results.
Nacionais e estrangeiros, bem como tentativa de manipulação de resultados eleitorais. A efetivação desse plano foi descoberto pelo serviço.
The implementation of this plan was uncovered by the State Intelligence Service using a depot of war weaponry.
De armamento de guerra. Assim, até que toda a situação seja convenientemente esclarecida e reposta as condições para o pleno retorno à normalidade constitucional.
Thus, and until the entire situation is duly clarified and conditions are restored for a full return to constitutional normality, the High Military Command for the Restoration of National Security and Public Order has decided to immediately remove the President of the Republic, close until further notice all institutions of the Republic of Guinea-Bissau, suspend until further notice the activities of all media outlets, immediately suspend the ongoing electoral process, close land and maritime borders and the national airspace, and establish a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Em curso. Encerrar a fronteira terrestre, marítimo, espaço aéreo nacional. Estabelecer recolher obrigatório das 19 horas até 6 horas, até as ordens contrárias.